Okay, hi everyone. I just finished filming this video, and I've been filming it for about almost 2 hours now. It's a reaction video to all the things that we missed. I thought there were gonna be minor, like, little things here and there. You know, like, you missed this orb, you missed that. No, I'm genuinely frustrated with myself with how much insane shit that we missed during these investigations. Everything from Suicide Forest all the way up into Hellfire Club. All of those videos are within this one. There are things in here that I did not think were possible at all in any realm of physicality. There are apparitions appearing. There are little tiny demons appearing. I think at one point I became schizophrenic or got the most insane doppelganger EVP you could ever imagine, and I cannot comprehend how it happened. It broke down things where we were catching voices that we didn't know because we were so distracted by things being thrown at us. Panasonic recordings that we just were... All I'm gonna say is I'm very, very glad that I did this video. I wasn't sure if I was going to. I'm very happy I did. And I think if you enjoy the paranormal investigations, you're going to enjoy this and kind of being a first-hand journey with me, experiencing so many of these things. I genuinely feel bad that there are some horrifically terrifying, life-altering, perception, universe-changing viewing things that are happening in these that we did not know, which means they're not the YouTube video, other than the people that caught them. And I want to make sure that moving forward, all of our videos are as professional and as forward and present as much evidence as we can. Anyways, I'm gonna be done rambling now. I'm just really hyped up from filming this for the last 2 hours. And now we're basically just gonna jump cut backwards 2 hours because I haven't left this chair at all. So here we go, 2 hours ago. I love you guys. Thank you, enjoy the video. And welcome back to the Overnight channel. This is obviously not our typical paranormal investigation video that we put on this channel. Everything organized in this video is actually gonna start with like the least scary, and then we're gonna end on like the most terrifying, batshit, how did that happen? I actually cannot explain it, scares the living f out of me type of evidence. And that's the scale we're gonna go on. Before we get into the reaction videos, I do need to say a big old thank you to our sponsor of today's video, and of the channel now actually, Factor. If you don't know, I absolutely love Factor with a passion. I'm not even reading a script. This is me just authentically telling you this. I love Factor. I've been a customer of Factor for years now. It is my favorite thing to have. This is what's been in front of me this entire time. I live off of these. These keep me alive. If it weren't for these, this channel would be dead because I would starve. So if you don't know, Factor is delivering fresh, never frozen, dietitian approved, gourmet, chef-style meals with an endless amount of options. They actually have every single week 35 different options you can pick from. There's keto, protein plus, calorie smart, whatever it is that you want to look for. They even have breakfast, they have smoothies, they have all these new additions that are constantly going in and out of rotation, and you can kind of pick what you want, or so if you're like me, you can just kind of like go, hey Factor, you pick it for me, and that's it. I will tell you this, every single thing I have ever gotten, I literally don't know what some of these are. They're all gonna be delicious. I promise you they will all be delicious. Any of you buy Factor and then you try and tell me that they're not delicious, you're lying. You're lying. You're absolutely lying. Okay, I just wanna tell you that right now. Every single one of these, 2 minutes in the microwave. Literally pop it out, pop some holes in your film, pop it in the microwave, 2 minutes, take it off. Perfectly ready, incredible meal. No shopping, no cooking, no cleaning, whenever you want it. It's 1:30 in the morning right now that I'm filming this. Every time I'm like so delightfully surprised at how good they are. You can also pause your subscription whenever you want. So like if you're leaving town for 2 weeks to go film in Antarctica, like I am in 3 days, you can pause it and then you can unpause it and then have it ready for you when you come back. Don't hesitate, give it a try. Go over to factor75.com and use code 50HauntedHomies for 50% off of your very first box, plus you get free shipping. So again, it's factor75.com, use code 50HauntedHomies, get 50% off your first box and free shipping. I'm gonna move these to the side. I'm gonna pull out my computer and the reaction video will begin, and I will probably keep eating my meal. And last thing before I start watching through all these clips, legitimately, I haven't started planning next year's videos yet. So if there are any certain places or concepts or ideas or cryptids or people or anything like that you would like to see the Overnight channel work with, please feel free, let me know. I already read all the comments about the REM pods. I know to dial that back or at least be able to like change what they sound like, anything like that. I really want to make sure that the videos that we're making are the best what they can be. If you're watching this video, in particular of all videos, I assume that you genuinely really enjoy the channel, and I would like to also let you know that I genuinely really enjoy that you like the channel, and I really appreciate it. It means the world to me that this is like a viable thing that I get to do, that I get to bring my friends, and now my wife to very scary places and film and ghost hunt, and that's like part of my job, which is crazy. Anyways, let's do this. Let's have some fun. This is from Suicide Forest.
Come on, dude.
Am I turning at the same time?
For the record, I haven't seen any of these yet, so that was my actual reaction to that. Instantly went,
Yes. Like we walked and it kind of faded away.
something in
It
the
was
bottom
fine.
right.
Am I turning at
That's crazy. That's a clear hi. And I know where Corbin is. I know where Jerry is. And we know Evan and Ginger are nowhere near us. The Suicide Forest is when we were split into two teams.
the same time?
Yes.
That's Jerry talking. Like
we walked and it
and
kind
then
of
again
faded
in the bottom right, there's like this.
away. It was fine.
Am I turning at the same time?
Yes.
You literally hear the. That's insane. Like with all the body cameras, I'm sure I could just line everyone up. That hi.
Like we walked and it kind of faded away. It was fine.
Am I turning at the same time?
Yes. Like we walked and it kind of faded away. It was fine.
Am I turning at the same time?
Yes. Like we walked and
That's so crazy. I'm looking for the thing.
like as we walked by them, they kind of like doing this to us and just like pulling it out.
So I'm curious.
Are they the same two?
Hello? No, I'm curious.
That one's crazy. That one goes blatantly across
Are
the whole
these the
screen.
same ones from back there, or are these just like, as we walk, these are different
I don't know.
spirits? You know what I mean?
They're not shadow figures. They're like the white mist just kind of going like that across the screen, which anyone wants to try and say it's breath. Breath wouldn't go like that 5 feet, right? Like that's the distance here to here. It kind of looks like it's going like you would see this. You would have to see like someone go to make that happen. So whatever that is directly in front of us, closer to where the SLS is mapping things out. And then you have that hi. And the fact that that's considered the least terrifying is pretty sick. I guess that makes sense because all it's saying is hi. It's not like, hi, I'm going to eat your soul and rip out your eyes and feed it to you later. It's just like, hi. So I can understand why that's a 1 out of 10 on the terrifying scale.
Billy, did you have a family?
You're watching my main process right now. Yes. And Corbin is like 15, 20 feet away. Evan's right there. We're doing Estes method. Yet we hear the yes. Right in front of our faces. And this is also the same night that we got the hi. I would love to hear something in the Parabolic mic. That would be fantastic.
Yeah, I should take it off.
Can you look in that direction just for a moment?
This is where the feedback's coming from. Hello?
Skull chipper.
This is where the feedback's coming from. Hello?
Skull chipper.
This is where the feedback's coming from. Hello?
Skull chipper.
This is where the feedback's coming from.
Yeah, there's no way you guys don't also hear. And that's right after the body camera was knocked off the log. We're getting the parabolic mic interference and then what sounds like, I'm coming, trying. We always use the parabolic mic to just like hear what we thought were like footsteps, but I never, ever, ever thought to go through the static that we did hear to see if something was pushed through. The parabolic mic is like our hearing times 10. Like how dogs have a wider range, the parabolic mic has a wider range, and then it also amplifies traditional range. So that means something was speaking in a range that we can't hear, which would also make sense why we don't hear the hi. But it makes me wonder if I built a device that's similar to like how there's thermal scanners and full spectrum cameras, could I make an audio device that can record at a significant range all of the time? And would we just constantly be hearing voices? Or if I just left that recording overnight, what would I have captured? Because we've done one Panasonic session overnight, and that was Stanley Hotel. So now it really makes me wonder, whenever we leave a room, how simple would it be just to leave the audio device up recording? And the easy way to see if you captured anything is when you plug in an audio line, it shows you on the graph. So it wouldn't be like you'd have to listen through all 10 hours. You would just literally see if you caught anything. So if I can do that, if I can make like a full spectrum audio recorder, I don't even know what that would be called, and then leave them in rooms, and also just like leave them running all night. Obviously it'd be a little bit hard to go through it when like we're also talking on top of it. That'd be insane. I don't know if anyone's ever tried doing full spectrum audio recordings in haunted locations. I genuinely say that because I actually don't know. I do not watch other people's channels. Hearing that there, knowing that we got it completely unintentionally, means what would we get if we were trying? Another one in Suicide Forest, Paranormal Girl points out a very distinct and strange blue light.
Yeah.
The fact that I'm looking for the blue light makes it so much easier to find the blue light. There is nothing we have with us that has blue light.
Yeah.
What's so weird is you hear how uncomfortable I am, because I intuitively, again, can feel that there's something in that portion of the forest, and I'm like looking around just like, eh. And there's a... I don't even know what that means. Like, I don't even know what a blue light signifies. When I think blue, I think like good, positive aura. Like something fleeting, like running away or escaping. Or in the women's club, there's a voice.
Do they know about the body outside? Did they watch us dig it up?
Well, even more reason to go back. That answer directly after her question. Go. It really makes me wonder how much we're missing. Oh, man. Devil's Island is still my favorite paranormal investigation video we have ever done. People maybe didn't like it as much because I think, honestly, because it doesn't have a history. No one else has had investigated there. It's just lesser known as opposed to like Conjuring House. You know, there's a million people that want to watch that video. Versus Devil's Island, we're the first ones to do it. I thought it was fantastic. And anything that we missed that night, I'm so excited to hear and see. Getting insane answers on the Spirit Talker.
Sacrilege. Soil.
Oh! 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 One, I realize I have the same reaction there as I do here. Sacrilegious soil. Right? Against religion, soil. That cemetery. Probably people buried there. that went against religion. It was right after we were discovered as a cemetery. And then there's a, hey. But it almost sounds like someone under... It sounds like someone below. Like in purgatory. Being like, hey. And that sound, hey, knocked the fucking camera over. Yeah, it is super crazy. Also paranormal activity. Nothing, just keep going. What's going on here? Again, anyone who wants to say, oh, it's your breath, you can't. I'm the only one here. There's no one near the camera. What is this? Where is this mist coming from? Yeah, it is super crazy. Also paranormal activity. Nothing, just keep going. Does that not look like flames? Does that look like flames to anyone else? Like when you think of like a fire pit, right? Like the... Is that not what that looks like? I was looking at the dot, now I'm realizing... Like, think of it like... Yeah, it is super crazy, also paranormal activity, nothing, just keep going. Okay, this is Hellfire Club. Most recent video on the channel. I also hate the noise, just so everyone knows. I apologize, I also hate it. I didn't make them, that's the noise they came with. When we decided to set them up this night, Hellfire Club, I didn't expect anything to go off at all, let alone everything all at once, all at the same damn time, being horribly annoying. So I also apologize. I literally started up going up the hill being like, we're just going to set up all the tools because we never do that. This is a small spot.
Oh. Behind you too. That one.
That's insane.
Oh. Behind you too. That one.
That's insane.
Oh. Behind you too. That one.
That's insane.
The first two times I watched that, I couldn't even figure out what was moving.
Insane. Like the rope and the eddy. I mean, these are all completely independent devices with all different functionalities.
Yo, hold on. That's crazy. That's really cool. Because we're talking about how like the whole floor was kind of getting set off and stirring up energy. And then later we hear the scratches. And that's also, if I'm not mistaken, the same room we had a cat ball move and roll on its own, and we didn't know until editing. I think it might have been like almost within a foot of that same place. You have a butterfly-like orb shooting across the screen when Elton was talking about having all the ducks lined up. And you now see this. This is the woman's club.
I feel like the move here is to like come back with all the ducks lined up.
Yeah.
With all the ducks lined up.
Yeah.
Lined up.
Yeah. And come back with permission to go back there with a...
Did I scare you?
Yes, yeah, every time I come, yes, yes.
Oh, I've never seen an orb like that. It was like round. That looks like a butterfly, or if you want to get really dramatic, a very tiny little angel. And then we hear that, did I scare you? And having, again, no idea that the did I scare you was related to this flying across our faces. And we think it's just like an arbitrary did I scare you, but it was perfectly after. Damn it. But it's crazy, it's like Evan nor I saw that. Which just makes me wonder, how does the camera... We are now finally to the London Tombs episode, which Devil's Island was my favorite one to do because the adventure and no one had been there, and the hiking. The London Tombs video, if for some reason you're watching this and you have not seen that, is an incredible video. That feeling of being in that room, that church, and hearing those sounds and getting those responses is what I crave every single night that we go and investigate. It's that feeling. And the fact that that night was probably like 60, 70 nights before I had anything else happen like that was so worth it. And I truly, truly loved being in that church that night in a location that we didn't know if it was going to be that crazy, because the history is there, but it is converted to a bar and no one's really been there and you don't know. But that was cool. And I remember the Panasonic getting some crazy things, but the problem with the Panasonic is that like we're hearing it through this 25-year-old little speaker, and the volume doesn't get much louder, and you don't really have the tools you need right then and there. So knowing that we might be able to figure this out now is fantastic. And Alexandra Durham commented saying, it sounded like it said, I had to. Can only imagine the soul was hysterical with the knowledge of what was happening and what they were doing. Okay, so I'm listening for a I had to.
So could you please tell us what you considered your job to be?
Dude, I remember, that feeling, I'm getting that same feeling when I heard the cut them up and throw them in the pits.
All of that?
Oh, I didn't even notice the I had to. That's cool. Cut them up and throw them in the pits. Again. Cut them up, throw them in the pits. I had to. Oh, man, that's such a... Just to think about the fact that we were speaking to someone who was responsible for disposing of the bodies, or was doing so willingly, or was someone that was like, I had to, like I was forced to do this. And maybe what we are hearing was like, cut them up and throw them in the pits. Again, cut them up and throw them in the pits. And then someone else just being like, I had to. It adds a whole nother layer of depth to what we could have been hearing.
Was during this moving, because ending happened a little bit after, obviously.
And the I had to, that means the I had to simultaneously happened when the cabinet got pushed. Phantom Ovilus voice seemingly says jewelry.
It seems to be like right here.
Yeah. Panasonic?
Yeah? It seems to be like right here.
Yeah. Panasonic?
Yeah?
I'm so happy I'm not insane. Because you see me go like, I heard that, no one else hear it, and I hear it now. Jewelry.
Wait, what? Huh?
What? I swear I heard this thing talk.
But there's nothing new on that.
Just roll this.
There's one right there too. There's one right there too. I hear like a
Roll this.
yes. There's like a yes.
Just roll this. I heard a female voice.
I heard a female voice go jewelry, and then yes. And that sound would be coming from right between me and the camera, which is where the rump. I'm so happy to know that I wasn't insane that night, because whenever those things happen, whenever I hear or see something and no one else does, I always feel like the lunatic in the room. Whoa, that's really interesting. Anyone else notice during Corbin reading the 9th story, behind Elton Corbin, there's a red blob or orb that comes down from the tree, moves around a bit, and then moves rapidly to the left of the screen.
And it was mid-February at the time, in the house in the country, with no electricity. Inside the kitchen, we both saw my grandma, whom we just buried, holding hands with 4 other women in a circle, facing each other. It was a small kitchen. I didn't know them at all, but my uncle recognized a couple, being his grandma's sister, who died, and one was grandma's mom, who was long dead. We left. Have not been back to that house since. That was close to 30 years ago.
How the fuck is that possible? There's a moment in that not debunks it, but proves that it couldn't have been any physical, real world object, because it's behind Corbin. But if you notice at one point, it goes like on and in front of his beanie, and there's no. Right on, like right. Let me find it. Right there. Look, right there. It's in front of him. So here it's behind, and you see it come down the tree. Right? It's down the tree. It's got like a little tail on it. And you want to go, oh, it's a bug. You can't, because it goes literally into his head. Right there. It goes in his head. And then we keep going. Out of his head again. Stays around him. And then it goes, voom, gone. And then I think it goes around Jen. Look how thick that is. Again, if it was like a physical object like a bug, it would lose the color strength and the ability to bounce off light, right? Like the further away it is, it would get dimmer. But here it's almost at its brightest. Oh man, it probably keeps going, but because we didn't catch it, and I don't have the raw footage anymore. So we didn't catch that in editing, so I don't know like what else. It could have gone into each one of our heads, like one at a time. Oh, that's so cool. That's really, really cool. Right when the SLS picks up a figure, there's a disembodied scream. Just wondering if anyone else heard it.
We've gone 25%.
It's because we've been getting so much.
Dude, there's one right in front of me. Right now. Right here. Yep. I think it's every time I acknowledge them, how you feel? Okay.
Okay, it points out, sounds like an old man. The fact that there's so much in Suicide Forest.
Yeah, this is where it gets...
Again, I have that weird feeling that something's the blue orb and now this.
dicey.
Yes, that's right.
I am so sorry that I am so terrible at reacting to this, because every time my body just goes into shock. This is where it gets dicey. Yeah, that's right. Ha ha.
Yes, that's right.
Ha ha ha. Ah. I wish I could translate what I'm feeling right now. Or maybe you're just feeling the same thing I am.
Yes, that's right.
I have to figure out how to improve how we investigate. Points at a female voice right before the longest and loudest sawing noise. Back in London Tombs, baby. Back in London Tombs. Female voice happening. Here we go.
Could you turn the light back on to let us know that it isn't you making that noise? Or, if it is you making that noise, could you turn the torch back on? Yeah, or both of them. Yeah, if you want to light that torch up and make that noise. Now, the noise. All three at once.
I'm literally like losing hope that we're gonna hear it again. audible female voice. Crawling, scratching, gnawing on the wall. There's a knock before all of that. The music box goes off where you can see where everyone is and no one has moved to substantiate that going off. All of that happening all at once. It sounds like an owl. Like a whoo whoo. Any of you can go visit where this is. We're very deep underground, deep within a whole building, surrounded by, I mean, you can see the walls, these massive stone, masonry level, thick walls that are obviously holding up the buildings above it and the bridge above it. We all know.
All three at once.
Such a great... I'm so happy that happened. That night was... I can't express to you how meaningful that night was, and just like reinvigorating the motivation to like keep pushing and keep following intuition, because everything that night was just telling me there was someone still here who was chopping up bodies. And I just kept it in my head. And what do we hear? Himru? Oh, Himru. Oh, sick. Yeah, this is Himru Mansion.
Is anyone in here?
It's crazy because that's English.
Is anyone in here?
That's not even like raspy. That's not like, that's like a, it's me.
Is anyone in here? It's like a storage room.
Is anyone in here? It's me. Points out eyes over Corbin's shoulder. Where's his eyes at? No, those aren't eyes. We're gonna skip that. Those aren't eyes. Oh. Dude, what a catch! What a fucking catch! How does someone notice this?
We are here.
How does someone notice this? I was skimming through this and I'm like, that's just the camera light. That's not what they caught.
To bring out the truth.
Himru Mansion, upstairs. How do you notice this?
We are here to bring out the truth and to share the truth.
How the fuck? Dudes, look at this. This is like on frame for less than a second. Right there, you see it's like head and it's two eyes. I can't even like get it. It's got three eyes. Oh no, it's like two and then a... Dude, what the fuck is that? That's the fact that someone caught that. Because in reality, this is zoomed in. So that's like the teeniest little demon ever. He's like a little baby demon, the tiny little baby demon, little guy, little baby guy, little baby guy demon popping right up. That's crazy. That's so crazy. What a catch. We're catching another in real life voice and this battery's dying.
And you said you take souls. But I have to do this.
Okay. That's me alone in Suicide Forest. I'll try. We're doing that one again.
But I have to do this.
I know you take souls, Evan. What's the fucked thought here? Is that sounds like me. Like splitting my personality for a second. It sounds like me going like, I'm sorry, I know I have to do this. I heard you take souls.
But I have to do this.
I know you take souls. Evan. Pause. But I have to do this. I can't comprehend that one. There's just no way I said that because knowing it's a 360 camera, we would have looked at the shot and been like, oh, Elton, that was you saying it. And there's absolutely no logical reason whatsoever in any plane of universe that I would ever say that by myself. But I just like, it's also the same night, or sorry, the same place where the night before work out in my head. It's more scary to me when I can't understand it. I don't know if anyone else feels that way, but like a book falling off a shelf is like really scary because it's like, holy shit, something moved out, you saw it. But when something happens that I cannot even remarkably fathom how that's possible, especially when that one sounds like me and it's saying the name of someone that isn't there, that is scary to me because it just means that I do not know how that is possible. It could have happened, and it also means what else could it be doing, and what else could it be doing that I'm not even aware of? And the fear of the unknown, I feel like, is much more terrifying than the fear of what is known and what you've seen.
Galaxy.
So the last thing it said was, thank you for that tithing, which means that has to be important. So what the fuck does tithing mean? Tithing is something paid as a voluntary contribution or as a tax, especially for the support of a religious establishment. After that entire night and everything we did, and as we're ending, we get a hyper-intelligent answer saying, yeah, thanks for what you did, that voluntary contribution you did. I'm so bummed that the Hellfire Club video was such a remarkable night, and I genuinely completely understand why a mass majority of people cannot watch the video because of the ear-piercing sound, which I also just heard right now. I will say this was eye-opening for me, ear-opening. All openings of my body have now been enlarged due to doing this, and I am excited and reinvigorated to know that after doing this, that the choice to kind of upgrade our editing in terms of looking for things like this in advance, I think will be huge. I hope you had fun watching this. I hope it was cool for you to experience what I experienced firsthand with me, because I was, unlike 80% of those, was the first time I'd ever seen them or even knew about them at all. Some of them I had already done because I do film reaction videos on Patreon. If for some reason you want to watch more of these reaction videos, I do a more in-depth version of them for most episodes. It's not always missed evidence because obviously hopefully we don't miss a shit ton. But a lot of it is also just kind of like reanalysis or talking about it or behind the scenes or thought process. And it's just kind of like a more in-depth look at my perspective and the way I view and think about these investigations as they go on. So those are on Patreon. I think there's 2 full-blown reaction videos up right now, and then when I'm done editing this, I'll go film some more. So those are there. Anyways, if you're at the end of this video, I do deeply appreciate you and love you and know that you obviously love this stuff as much as I do. That's why you're here watching. So that's super cool, and thanks. And then also, if you're still watching, I'm gonna give you a little insight right now. As soon as I'm done editing this video, which means by the time this video is out, right now, the new holiday merch box is out. No one knows. Patreon will know because that's part of what they get. So if you want to absolutely make sure you get your size, I actually did 4XL for the first time ever. I haven't been able to do that in a while. So there's 4XL, 3XL, 2XL, all that. They're available right now. It's actually 5 items in this box instead of 4 because it's the holidays and I wanted to sneak in another item if I can. That's there. I'm not even gonna put an image of it yet because I'm gonna go do that after this. I'm gonna end this. I will see you guys in the next video. Paris Catacombs, 2 nights in a row. Matt Rife. And after that, we got some Australia videos, and Haunted Homies is coming back this weekend, and also TFIL is on its way back. So cool. Sweet.